Hello, my Earthlight friends. How are you today? Hello, hello. I am here giving a ocean oracle reading for mid-September. Now hold on, I look very red. Let's see what's going on here. Let's turn this off. Okay, good. Now I look better. Okay. Hey, how are you doing? Today is Monday, September 16th. How y'all feeling out there? I spent Saturday and Sunday in bed till about 12 o'clock. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. We've had a lot of solar flares hitting the earth. And if you're sensitive like me, you sensed it, you felt it. We've got a full moon and lunar eclipse tomorrow. I'm not an astrologer, but I like Joni Petrie. I like the Leo King. And I like Pam Gregory. So you can go into more depth with them, what's happening with the astrology. All I know is I was just totally exhausted, wiped out, had no energy the last 2 days, but I'm fine now. So basically, when you feel that, we're going through shifts. We're going through global shifts. And if you're sensitive, you need more rest. You need more herbal teas, or for me, cacao in the morning, which is my antidepressant. And you may need just more pure water with a little bit of Celtic sea salt. So I've come on today using the Ocean Oracle, What Seashells Reveal About Your True Nature. It was created by Michelle Hansen. I met her about 12 years ago. And as you see, I have on a seashell necklace that was created probably back in the 80s by my mom. I inherited a lot of them from her when she passed over. And what I do is there are 200 seashells in this deck. And I just kind of cruise through them. Well, this time I didn't even look. Now, again, each category, this is the behavior category, 1 through 66. This is the interaction, aren't they beautiful, seashells? Interaction category. And then we have name and appearance, which is pretty self-explanatory. The name of the seashell has to do with its appearance. And then we have the intuition group. And that means the author of Ocean Oracle, What Seashells Reveal About Your True Nature, just used her intuition as to what these seashells mean. And it works every single time I use it. So what I did was I picked up, comes in this beautiful box. I don't shuffle them because they're in order and it gets a little confusing. There's 200 of them, so it's not like a tarot deck or, all the other decks that I have. It's not like that where you have like 30, 40 cards. There's 200. So what I do is I just close my eyes and I asked, what is the message mid-September? Because astrologers are predicting a lot of stuff is going to go wacky, wacky in mid-September. So hold on to your hat, get grounded, hug a tree, get ready. And I just kind of cruise through them with my consciousness, just going, putting my feet on the ground or on the floor, barefoot, and I just held them. And then 3 of the seashells jumped out at me. And these seashells that jumped out at me are a message for myself and whoever tunes in. You could be tuning in now, you could be tuning in weeks from now, minutes from now, but it has to do with what's going on our planet right now. So let's get started. All right, and again, I'm a Scorpio, Cancer rising. I have a lot of water in my chart, and I've been wearing more orange and red and pinks lately to ground me, because if I wore turquoise all the time, I would just be floating around, not knowing what's going on, especially with all this Pluto, Neptune. I would not be able to get anything done. So hence, I am focusing on those 2 chakras. Red is the base chakra. Orange is the neck chakra, which has to also do with creativity. So let me tell you what we got here. Now, the first seashell I picked was not a surprise to me at all. it just made perfect sense. So I'm going to put it here so you can see it. It's kind of a small shell. It's called the idol eye cowrie. The idol eye cowrie. And there are several cowrie shells in this deck. Now, this seashell was used in ancient Egypt. And what they would do is they would take the seashell. Here, let me push you out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Just kind of do it on the fly. Don't have everything perfect, but just getting it out there. So what they would do in ancient Egypt is after they did the mummification process, they would take an idol's eye cowrie, idol, like an idol, eyes cowrie, and they would put it in the eye socket of the deceased being that was mummified. And the reason they did that is seeing through the other world. So they believe that when you go to the other plane, when you've crossed over into spirit, that's why they also buried themselves with all of their possessions that they needed. But the seashell helped them to see when they were in the afterlife, when they were on the other side of the veil, when they were in their spirit form. But what it means in Ocean Oracle is seeing things other people don't, using your intuition. Seeing things that other people don't, using your intuition. Well, I'm telling you, right now, with everything going on, you have got to be clear and use your intuition. You cannot fall for every story that you hear on mainstream media or even on, the platform I'm on now, or even if you're on Rumble. You could really love this podcaster, but there are going to be some wacky stories coming out. Wacky, wacky stories. And you've got to be clear what is true and what is not true. So this is the message of the idol eye cowrie. Now I have my handy dandy book right here, and it's seashell number 82. So I open it up to number 82, and I don't have it all memorized. I wish I did, but I look it up. So on the back of the card, you just kind of get like a sentence of what it means, and then I use my natural intuition to expound upon it. Well, with this one, basically it just explains what this seashell was used for. And as I said, they would take the idol eye cowrie and put it in the eyeball sockets of the mummified being, usually a high up Egyptian priest or a queen or king, because just the average person, I don't think, was able to get mummification and be put into a nice coffin like that. And it was put in the eye sockets so they would have vision in the afterlife. In similar fashion, this cowrie is, as it implies, is put in the eye socket of Polynesian idols. So it's not telling you to worship idols. It's not telling you to get mummified when you die, that's for sure. What it's saying is right now, use your intuition when you are seeing and hearing stories about what's going on, whether it has to do with the big military industrial complex, whether it has to do with big pharma, or whether it has to do with big agriculture, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of fibs being told right now to get you to vote a certain way. And again, I don't have a political bone in my body. I am not telling anyone what to do in terms of voting or not vote, but this is what I believe it means, is to use your intuition and be very clear. Maybe get up in the morning, just drink some water with a little sea salt on it. Don't eat anything. Just focus on your breath and say, can I believe this story? And is this going to sway me one way or the other? So that's the first one I got. The next one, believe it or not, is another cowrie shell. I said there are several different cowries in this deck. Can you see this one? It is the egg cowrie, which means hiding emotions, wearing a false mask, and false bravado. Okay, so here we go. Hiding emotions behind a mask and false bravado. So what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what it meant to people that used to wear this as a mask right before they went into war. And again, I am 100% against all wars. I believe the new earth is being birthed right now, and there is no way that we should be engaging in any wars. But however, I will tell you what this cowrie shell was used for in Polynesian times. Well, not times, but in New Guinea. So the New Guinea warriors would take these shells and they would put it in between a piece of cloth. And as you see, it looks like this way, it looks like a grimace, and they would put it in between a cloth or a swatch of fabric, gripping the material between their teeth, and the warrior's mouth were flanked in a downward aperture with the two cowries. This mask effectively triples the menacing expressions and the design to frighten its enemies. False bravado, declaring you are fine inside when you are not fine at all. It's an example of the masks we wear to hide our emotions. I'll tell you, this weekend I was not fine. I was totally exhausted. Someone was trying to get me. I don't know. I don't know if it was a V. I don't know if it was the solar flare. I don't know if it was just, I feel it was what's going on collectively. And I am very sensitive to the full moons, especially the eclipses. So staying in bed till 12 o'clock was really good for me because now I'm fine. But this cowrie shell is saying there's going to be a lot of false bravado out there, a lot of menacing looking stories that might not even be true. I can think of one, part-time, I take care of people's beloved dogs and cats. Now, what was this whole thing about? They're eating people's dogs, they're eating people's cats. I don't even want to repeat it. I have no idea if it's true or it's not true. I did a little research. I don't think it's true, but if it is true or it isn't true, what is more horrible for somebody that loves their pet? So again, there's a lot of things going around that could be true, that are not true. You have to use your intuition, and there's a lot of false bravado. And also, if you're not feeling good, it's okay to admit, I'm not feeling great right now. I'm not feeling wonderful. Here, let me fix you a little bit. Oops, messed myself up here. I'm not feeling great right now. So that was the second. The last one, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I really like this seashell, and I've done a version of this before. It's called the bear paw, and I have one right here, and it looks like a big paw, and it means being nurturing and affectionate, nature-loving individual. So that's kind of me because I'm a Scorpio, but I'm a Cancer rising, and the Cancers that I know, a lot of them are very nurturing. They like to help heal people. They love children, they love animals, and that's me. It's like the epitome of Mother Earth. And so what this is about is, with all of this stuff going on in the world, there are the people who are holding the space of birthing the new earth, who are holding the space of saving the animals, saving the trees, helping the people who are in these horrible situations all around the world, who don't have enough to eat, that are in war-torn areas. And I believe that humanity will raise up to enough people with this mothering energy of the bear paw to take us to the higher timeline of peace. So I'm going to read to you exactly what it says. I'm going to put on my handy dandy glasses. I only use them occasionally. It's like I read the other two fine, and for some reason, can't see this. There we go. Okay. They're not prescription. They're just like magnifying glasses. Okay. Note, a person picking this shell would mother everyone if possible. And that used to be me. I'm better with boundaries now. This is a person who can be counted on to provide hugs, the proverbial earth mother, though it could apply to either a man or a woman. It's not related on what you identify as. It's nurturing qualities. So what I say when I look at all three of these, because the first one we have is intuition and discernment. So have discernment, intuition, let go of your prejudices, let go of how you identify, and say, is what I'm seeing on the screen, no matter what channel it is, whether it's mainstream, whether it's Rumble, whether it's YouTube, whether it's a podcast you like, does that really feel true to me? And if it is true to me, how am I going to react to it? Can I remain calm, cool, and collected and not get into any arguments or fights with anything? Use your intuition. Idle eye cowrie. Okay. The other one here, see, looks kind of menacing. If it goes this way, it looks like a smile. This way, it looks like not so happy. Okay, the egg cowrie, and again, that's what in New Guinea the warriors would use to look more menacing. So they'd put a piece of cloth, and they'd have two cowries on each side, and they'd go, "Arr," and they'd be really scary looking. But they really weren't any more scary than any other warrior going into the war. It's just like creating this false bravado, intimidating people. So, like, who is intimidating you now? Are you being intimidated by things you're seeing on the mainstream media? I'll tell you, like, when I watched that thing about the dogs and the cat, I got a little bit of anxiety, and then I just had to work through it. And I watched some memes and I just started laughing about it, and I just let it go. So if you're seeing things on the mainstream media, first of all, turn it off if it's really upsetting you. But do something that you really like. I mean, I love 80s, 90s R&B dancing music. So turn that on. Take a hot bath, sea salt bath, What else? Oh, drink something that will uplift your mood that's not a prescription drug or alcohol. So for me, it's pure cacao with a little bit of lion's mane that gets my brain working pretty fast. Okay, because I want to stay sharp. If I'm going to stay in this body, I want to be sharp. And then the last seashell that I picked, and again, what time is it? Don't want to go too long, is the bear paw, being nurturing, affectionate, nature-loving individual. So, for me, it is being nurturing and loving to my neighbors. I see them. I'm very friendly to other people's dogs, to the person who's checking me out at my organic market, being extra friendly to them, asking them how their day is. Even with customer service now, I'm super friendly. Before, I would always get annoyed. I had to call, who did I have to call? Oh, AT&T to find out, if I can upgrade to a new phone, and I was extra friendly with them. So again, we're living in very precarious times. And if you're open to astrology, I recommend that you see where we're at. But nothing is etched in stone right now. It can go either way. So I would say let's focus on the highest timeline where we're going to have peace. We're going to have enough food for all. We're going to have enough housing for all, and we're living as one global family. So that is my message from Ocean Oracle. I'll show you the 3. And if you are interested in having an Ocean Oracle reading with me, just email me, earthlightpromotions@gmail.com, or send me a text. And I can pick the seashells for you, 8 to 10, and then 3 or 4 I don't like for you, or you can do it yourself. You can pick your own, or we could do just a free 15-minute one where I picked 3 seashells for you just so you can get a sample of it. But a full reading is about 45 minutes. And I used the Ocean Oracle deck and my own intuitive feeling. And the question has to be very broad, not narrow. So a broad question. And it comes together like a masterpiece. The different seashells come together like a masterpiece that answers your question. So that's all I have for you today. Use your intuition. Not everything you see, even on your favorite podcast, is true. And do yourself a favor and stay cleansed, eat right, and turn on your favorite music right now and drown out all the negativity. Bye for now. Beverly L. Nickerson, sensitive, seashell reader, and I'm on the shamanic path. Bye.